Today I would like to introduce one of our new products, the KOKS CycloVac. KOKS CycloVac is made for suction of wet and dry materials. The big difference with conventional vacuum trucks for dry materials is that this equipment does not work with filter bags, but it works with cyclones. The big advantage of these cyclones is that it doesn't give resistance in the system and therefore just gives more suction power at the end of the hose. This is so unique in the way we do it that this is actually patented right now. Cyclone technology is not new, it's been used for ages. But the difference is what we did and what we patented it is the self-cleaning mechanism within these cyclones. These cyclones clean themselves with help of outside pressure, and it cleans itself straight back into the vacuum tanks. This guarantees an optimal use of the cyclones and guarantees maximum vacuum power on the end of the hose. I would like to tell you about some of the most important features in this control box. The most important one is the type of product you work with, a wet product or a dry product. To set this is not complicated. There's just one button, shift it on dry or on wet, and the rest will do itself. Another very important feature is the cleaning of the cyclones. Depending on the type of product, the cleaning speed must go up or down. This can be easily done with a setting from 0 to 3, depending on the product. Another very important feature is the earth reel. When suction of dry materials, a static electricity will build up within the machine. This must be flowed off to an earth point. To make sure you keep this earth point, there is an automatic grounding control system that measures the grounding continuously. When the grounding, for whatever reason, is broken, the machine will shut itself off. Our CycloVac can be used in all kinds of works. It can be used for suction from dry materials, gravels, but it can also be used on refineries, on petrochemical industry, everywhere where there's a need for suction of a dry material. Therefore, one of the options is also an ADR certificate. ADR certificate means that it can be used for hazardous materials, for transport and handling. Another option would be the boom, which makes life a lot easier in working with this machine. A suction boom on top of the vacuum tank can be mounted. This suction boom is remotely operated and hydraulically driven. The suction boom can rotate for 360 degrees and can be extended to a length of 7 meters, where hoses can be connected for all kinds of different works. It also has a connection on the side for connection without the boom, working without the boom, and straight suction into the tank. It has a 6-inch connection on it, so hoses of 6 inch can be used. If there is a necessity for uses of 8-inch hoses, a different connection can be mounted. The vacuum pump that's used on the CycloVac is a roots blower. This roots blower displaces 8,100 cubic meters an hour of air, and it can work on full vacuum. This big air displacement is needed to transport materials over long distances and great heights. Other very important options is the high-grade stainless steel that we use on our standard product. We use stainless steel 316L, so it can be used in the petrochemical industry. This stainless steel is more resistant to most of the chemicals that's used there. One of the options we have on the CycloVac is the exchangeable back cover. For example, this cover is a liquid connection, which is needed for ADR certification, but it can be quickly changed within 5 minutes to a blowing cover or a sliding valve cover. The CycloVac has in a total of 8 cyclones on it. 8 cyclones divided into 2 groups of 4 cyclones. Both groups have their own absolute filter to make sure no debris gets into the pump. In between there is also a delta T measurement mounted. When the filter gets too dirty, the difference in pressure will be measured and the machine will shut itself off out of safety reasons. Of course, there is also a cleaning system on the machine mounted which will clean the filters before it gets to that point. Most of the product will be discharged in the vacuum tank. The airflow that comes from the vacuum tank will pass by the cyclones where the final debris will be separated from the airflow. The airflow will go through the absolute filter back to the vacuum pump. The final debris will fall down through the cyclones into the holding bin, and by this valve that will open up, the final debris will suck itself back into the vacuum tank keeping the working of the cyclones optimal.